Hi chat. Welcome in everyone. How we doing tonight? What's new? What's happening? Happy Sunday to you all. Wow, it seems like that music just stopped right when I started, but I guess it's just quiet. Hello, Will. Hello, they can see me. Hello, Michael. Hello, JK. Happy to see all you lovely folks in. Moisten my coffee filter here. Using one of those forbidden words. I can tell you, generally watching my stream is not good for people's waistlines. Just putting that out there, although I love that you're here watching me. Our glasses are piling up. It can be a toughie, though. Like, whether you know when to eat or not. I mean, how do you really know when you're hungry? Like, when you are absolutely hungry, there's no question that you're hungry. What I'm questioning is, at what point are you hungry? Just putting that out there too. Like, I realized, like, somewhat recent in the last couple of years here, that I had some mild allergies. Like, I've always had allergies. I had allergy tests when I was a kid, and they very obviously changed as I've gotten older. I used to be much better with cats and dogs, and now I'm much worse with cats and dogs, especially dogs. And so it's made me realize that there are things that your body, you just don't perceive, or you perceive differently than other people, or it's sort of like the scientific fact that we all taste things differently, yet we all sort of describe them same terms. Any food allergies? Minor. I don't do coconut. I have avoided coconut for many, many years in just about anything that I can find, whether it's food or not. And these days, even though this week's dinners have not been very indicative of that, I have greatly cut back on the amount of wheat and dairy, especially liquid dairy, that I have been consuming. Additionally, I don't do heavy amounts of peanut anymore. I do peanut, but I don't do spoonful of peanut butter at night sort of a thing anymore. Ugh. And most of that has changed because I had a blood test that showed I had very minor reactions to those last three, to wheat, dairy, and peanuts. And when it comes to blood test, allergy tests, they're not... People want to put a whole lot of faith behind them, but they're very much a snapshot of what's going on in your system that very moment, from my understanding. From my non-doctor understanding, is that they're very much a snapshot of what's currently irritating your body, sort of a thing, versus the old school prick your back a gazillion times tests are a little bit more solid and a little bit more... Pizza last night was amazing. Quite amazing. Well, not last night, night before. Oh, hey, new bottle of dairy here. Leaving you staring at my coffee cup that's not even steaming anymore. A little heavy in the dairy tonight, and that coffee, too. But going back to tasting genetically, not only do we taste differently genetically, there is genetics that will determine whether things are bitter to you or not, whether you like cilantro or not, etc., etc. There's also things like your age, where your saliva thickens and bitter foods tend to be more attractive to you as you get older. But regardless of how you taste and what allergies you may or may not have, thank you for joining me. I hope you have had a lovely weekend. Cheers. Hello, Cosmic. Hello, Dances with Felines. So tonight's going to be actually a little bit quicker of a stream than last cooking stream. And actually, it's going to be a little bit quicker from my typical Sunday. I typically try to make Sunday my longer streams and Monday my shorter stream. I think we're going to reverse that this week. Or, it depends on whether you count Sunday and Monday. Tomorrow's stream is likely to be longer than tonight's stream. Because we're going to be doing braised pork with a whole bunch of mustard. Because it's National Mustard Day tomorrow, bye, everyone. buddies, everyone out there. So gonna be making, I don't know if I'm gonna undertake making my own rolls or not tomorrow night, but we're definitely gonna be doing some braised pork. And tonight, we're doing heirloom tomato pizza, which is, I'm going back to store-made dough because I didn't feel like making it a day ahead. I gotta scrape this thing though. I forgot about this. This thing needs a scraping. So scraping the pizza stone, getting all the charcoal off of it, and then I'm going to, with a moistened towel, give it a wipe down to get a little bit of that surfaced. But that's the flavor of your pizza. How's your local pizza clean out their ovens? They got a mop? Ooh, spicy mustard. So I think we're going to start with dealing with our tomatoes. Oh, actually, no, we're going to start with our sauce tonight because we have sauce from last stream that I'm going to lightly modify. I'm a fan of mustard. I'm a fan of mustard. I like Carolina style mustardy barbecue. It's not necessarily my favorite barbecue. I don't know if I have a favorite barbecue. But I like mustard barbecue and I like mustard. I feel like I need to defend that fact. I don't know why. We're going to add all this lovely leftover tomato sauce into the pan. And I'm going to add a little bit of water to this to thin it out. Because we don't need a thick sauce like we did with the Detroit style. Or it's better without a thick sauce for this. And unless I heat it up with the water, it's my opinion that it's going to taste watered down. So, going to add even more water than that, and I think, yeah, I want that just barely able to, it's about halfway there. Okay, now that's about the thickness I want for the pizza. Now we're going to add some more water because I'm going to heat it up. Zoom right. Like, I was about to, like... I think I've got 3 types of mustard in my refrigerator. So, I mean... Yeah. I guess I like mustard. Alright, so now that we're heating our tomato sauce up, we can slice our tomatoes. And I am doing really thin slices on these. Ooh, I don't like that. Let's take the center out of that. I smell your sauce. You're hot. Alright, that's all I wanted to do with that. Just bring it up to a boil. Let that sit. We're going to slice a couple more tomatoes on top of this. Where do I work? Nowhere. I do occasional gigs here and there these days, but I had my own mobile business. I sold my mobile kitchen for about 5 years out of farmers markets. I've worked in all sorts of commercial kitchens, run the gamut, whether it's large resorts or Hollywood wine bars or sports clubs. Been all over the place. Those aren't coming across flat and even anymore, so we're going to switch tomatoes. These tomatoes are not as ripe as I would like them. But we're going to be cooking them enough that I'll be okay with it. Now this one might be ripe. About 80% of the way there. Not getting rid of this yet. I'm just not using it as thin slices on the pizza. And this skin has got some... It's got some pull to it. Wow, even stealing it's still the same. I just realized I haven't been showing you all my lovely chopping. How dare I do that to you, chat? And our last tomato of the night. Last two were the best too. But they can see me if you're interested in more details about who I am and what I've done. There's info about section down below me here on Twitch. Written all that stuff out. Just because I don't like even thinking that I ate the stem. Like, I'm just gonna pull them out even though it's getting pureed. I wouldn't notice it. Nice dances! Alright, all of those ends and pieces. going in with the sauce. Mute for the blender. Got that blended up nicely. Back into the pan, and gonna bring that back up to a boil once more, and then just cut the heat because we don't need it hot to go on the pies. I just want to cook it through. Every once in a while dances. Actually, I don't even know what happened to my last batch of it. Did I throw it in the fridge and forget about it? I think I did. I think that's it, what I was looking at there. There it is. Fermented garlic and honey and vinegar. Wonderful thing to keep around. I've had this around long enough that this should probably be gone. Technically, like, your fermenter people would be like, nah, that's fine, keep it around. But garlic fermented in honey, there are a few things that I have found that are better drizzled on the crust than that. I mean, it's garlic honey. Like, and you get that little bit of that funkiness in the background there, so you get a little bit of that, like, funk fruitiness, for lack of a better way of explaining it. We're up to a boil here. Well, we're almost up to a boil here again. And so that's all we needed for heating our sauce. All right. Oh, I'm going to do up these small little tomatoes too. At least one or two of them. Now we start heating our oven. All the way to the top. My oven only goes to 525. Hopefully your oven goes a little hotter. Awesome dances. Let me see if it still exists on the internet. I don't know if it still exists. They may have taken it down after all the controversy and stuff. Oh, come on. I'm gonna have to replace my I'm gonna have to replace my mouse, chat. I'm sad about that. But my right-click mouse on this mouse is like, it is not active. There we go. It just does not work anymore. Oh, he did an update to it 2 years ago. But if you're familiar with Brad, who did all the fermented stuff with Bon Appetit back in the day, if you search Brad fermented honey, you're going to come up with 2 videos there on YouTube. And he does one with sweet peppers and one with just garlic. I've only done just straight garlic, and it's quite amazing. I can imagine peppers being pretty amazing too. Oh, they definitely go higher than that, but it's actually mostly the more modern ovens that go hotter. But if you're really desperate, I don't want to buy one myself because they're sort of unitaskers in my mind. But those uni ovens, those outside ovens, if you're a pizza lover, those things have got to be a great value for someone that's, even if you're just in an apartment with an outdoor area, as long as it's legal to use an outdoor grill thing. I just think they're if I'm going to have an outdoor oven, I want an oven that I can do things like large roasts and overnight cooks, and I wanted to do bread in there and all sorts of other crazy stuff. And I just feel like those are way too small, the uni ovens. Like, they're basically only high enough to really fit a pizza in there realistically. But those get up easily 700 plus. I want to say they advertise 800. Yeah, and then you can get into things like yeah, there's other ovens that are just ridiculous. Trying to remember the but tandoori ovens. Tandoori? Am I using the right word there? There's some ovens that are just ridiculous hot. Like, there's some old school design ovens, like even wood fire ones with the cone over the top of them. They just hold heat. And then additionally, if you have a convection oven, like this is a conventional oven, it has no fan inside of it. If you've got a convection oven, you can actually assume that it's about 25 degrees hotter, or cooks 25 degrees hotter, because of that airflow. It's obviously not going to be exact because I'm between 2 random ovens one with a fan and one without, generally about a 25-degree difference. Like, there's so many different types of ovens. And now we're getting into all sorts of classes. Like, now we got air fryers that are this sized. Because an air fryer is just an oven, folks. Sorry, they got you to buy another oven for your house. Alright, let's do our first stretch out on our doughs here. There is some truth between... there is some truth with them being different from other ovens. But it's mostly in the difference that your 2000 model vehicle is better than 1990s model vehicle. It's still just a convection oven. It's just now we've got computer modeling and can design things with 3D printing or molding that's much better, so that you can have an exact size that is the exact perfect chamber for heating that air and moving that air around. And then you have everyone that's just copying them. I want to say Chinesium, which is sort of unfair because it's not really just China that's in that game. But the no-name copies of stuff where they just blindly copy it without knowing the science behind it. So there's a ton of air fryers out there that don't live up to the true definition of air fryer either. If you look up at my past streams, I've had plenty of experience of dealing with pizza on stream at this point. I have failed quite enough to get to this point that I'm even handling the dough this well. And it's really sort of funny because I've cooked pizza commercially in a fast casual restaurant, the pizza was doing like 200 covers, but it was like it's a different concept. I'm not going to tell you the company, but it was almost like a Cheesecake Factory in that the menu just like covered everything. And so as a restaurant, we would do like 2,000-3,000 covers on a busy weekend night. But I was never doing the dough like this when I was doing it there because they had a pizza press, which is a wonderful piece of cheating technology that no home gamer is ever going to pay for. But it's essentially an upside-down heated skillet with a pizza form underneath it. You can change out the form underneath to change what size pizza you're making. And it just pushes it out while searing what is going to be the bottom just so lightly so that it holds its shape in a perfect pizza round for you to put your toppings and everything on it, and then throw it into the wood-fired oven. And so I've done thousands of pizzas in a commercial kitchen with absolutely no experience that would have helped me in the home kitchen. But I appreciate the compliments. Putting the flower away, chat. I announced that because it's sort of like my curse. You can't put the flower away until you're done. You know, like you're always going to have to go back to the flower. I'm not, though. I'm going to cheat. And if I need some more dry material for this, it's going to be cornmeal. And I can already tell you I'm going to use cornmeal for sliding it on and off with my peel. I use a thin bamboo cutting board as my peel because I don't have a proper pizza peel. Actually, I take that back. I think I own 2 pizza peels at this point. They're just both at my parents' house. My parents' house being, somewhere across the country from where I am. Oh, hey there, YouTube. How we doing here? Stream looking healthy according to YouTube. Yeah, Twitch always complains about my stream. Stats over here, yeah, could be better. I might be taking next Friday off, chat. And it's not a desire or wanting to take Friday off, but I'm thinking it's probably time that I just reformat this streaming PC. The redoing OBS didn't fix things up. Am I American? Yes. I live in Sonoma County, up here in wine country in California. I have lived all over the U.S. I've traveled some, but mostly just in the U.S. Been to China, been to Canada a bunch of times. Strangely, even though I've lived close to it, never made it over to Mexico. Let's see, I think I got pre-sliced fresh mozzarella for tonight. Is this a sliced log? Sliced. Different brand of fresh mozzarella than I normally get. I normally go for sort of the bog standard, available everywhere, name I can't remember. And I haven't seen this one before. So, but it's from a pretty major name, so I'm expecting it to be probably about the same. There's one more local brand of fresh mozzarella that I've tried once or twice that is just, no thank you. Just doesn't melt properly. Speaking of traveling, I'm going to be at TwitchCon. Dances Belgiosio. I don't know how to pronounce that properly. I'm not going to do it. It's the one that I picked up for tonight, and is one that I haven't had before. I'm very familiar with the brand. I've seen their stuff around for ages. in other cases, but and hey, if you find me at TwitchCon, you might just get a patch for free. That it is. It's in San Diego, at least for the next couple of years. It has bounced around. It's been in San Diego the most. Last time it was in Vegas, and I think they sort of realized that Vegas wasn't really the place for that. I think they're much better in San Diego, where they can be the big star of the town. Like, you take a show like TwitchCon to Vegas, and it's like Vegas just disappears. Like, it's so small compared to everything else going on there. But I believe they signed a 4 or 5 year contract with the convention there in San Diego, so it's going to be there for a while. Yeah, and I made that joke in the Discord that, like, they handled the top, like, computer electronics show at the same time as the largest porn industry convention. Just happened to be at the same time. TwitchCon is not even like a quarter of either of those. Oh, nice, JK. Sort of funny how those match up all the time, isn't it? But if they wanted to outgrow San Diego, I'd actually probably think Chicago would probably be a better place for them than Vegas. Like, just way too small in Vegas for yeah. Like, as I understand it, they're taking over a block or two. Like, normally in San Diego, they take over the convention center and they take over the baseball park for a concert or a show or something. And there's going to be baseball all this time during the show this time. So they're apparently like taking over a block or two of the Gaslamp district, which is like the restaurant and nightclub area directly across the street from the convention center. I don't know about that one, Michael. Like, they certainly have exploded in population, but I sort of feel like it's much more... Yeah, I think it's much more of a... Vegas has turned into a show town rather than... Like, it's... Vegas is transformed. Like, the gambling is certainly still there, and they're certainly there to still get your money gambling. But it's gone from this weird world of people going there for restaurants and stupid cheap buffets, and to this giant, like, massive sphere of video. And it's, and musicians doing, concert series in one town and things like that. it's really odd. And now there's like no buffets at all. If you haven't been to Vegas in a while, they changed their smoking laws, and so every one of the casinos had to close down their buffets, and basically, if they wanted them again, rebuild them. And most of them didn't bother making a new buffet. And so, like, the only ones that have buffets anymore are the ones that had, like, gorgeous, huge buffets, or they're one of the old school strip ones where it's just like, you gotta have it still. But rip to the Mirage. I liked the Mirage. Well, yes and no liking the Mirage. My parents always wanted to stay at the Mirage. And so I was like, I don't want anything to do with it as a kid, but... that's what I'm after. And, like, every single time I've gone to Vegas, I've... Sorry to say this in response to your comment, they can see me. But every single time I've gone to Vegas, it has been worse than it was the time before. The last time that I went was 4 or 5 years ago, and the resort that I stayed, or the casino that I stayed at, like, was building brand new stores right up to the walkway, and that seemed to be the trend of all of them. It used to be sort of like Caesar's Palace was the only one with like a mall and tons of stores that you were sort of forced to walk through in order to exit the casino. And then Bellagio jumped on that, and then now even like all the other ones are like they're building out all this like street level stores and stuff like that. And Bellagio was really sort of cool when they did it, though, because it was all really expensive stuff that no one was going to really spend money on unless they got it rich in the casino. Alright, so now we got that nicely. Yes, the Mirage just closed. The Mirage is now going to be the new Hard Rock. Or the Hard Rock Hotel? Or... oh, the other one's Planet Hollywood. So we're going to have Planet Hollywood and Hard Rock, I think. I do have to say that I think that the Planet Hollywood is a better concept than the Aladdin was. Nice. Hotel or restaurant? Like, the restaurant's got a good menu to it. I don't know price-wise how it, like, if you're a local, if it's too pricey, but they got a nice menu for... I don't know the exact varieties of all of them head of broccoli. I would assume, off the top of my head, that this is a Cherokee, but Not sure. Okay, let's get the cheese out here first. Have that ready. Ooh. Bun's giving us a raid. Welcome in, Buns. What were you playing tonight, Buns? I saw you were building a house or something earlier. I didn't quite catch. Alright, let's try... How's that, chat? Can you see what I'm doing with the pizza there? Like, I want to do it here, but we got all the tomato juice and everything going on. Alright, I'm going with it whether you can see it or not now. Pour our sauce down. I have a feeling this is going to be a very fresh, acidic tasting pizza tonight from the smell of this sauce when I poured it. This sauce smelled like it was fresh tomatoes. Despite how deep and concentrated it was on the Detroit style the other night. The addition of the extra heirlooms and a little bit of water. Uh-oh. I messed up, chat. Cheese first. This ain't another Detroit style. I'm not loving the way this cheese feels. It's way too, like, dry. Like it's been worked more than the other brand I'm forgetting that I normally buy. Galbani. Alright, now we go in with the tomatoes. I have shredded in the fridge too. I missed what you said, Buns. I asked you a question and I didn't even respond to what you said. Variety Games was building houses and then Borderlands. Okay. Nice. And then... let's see if we can get anything off of this. Basically just the rind at this point, but maybe we'll get a little parm out of this. Alright. Slide for me, pizza, please. Okay. Pizza sliding now. Going in the oven. It's awesome how my cutting board is nearly identical, the same size as my pizza stone. Makes it so nice to... Yeah, it's not round, but it's the largest size that I can fit on the... And actually, I've done this enough that we're going to add another minute to that. We'll do 11 minutes on that pizza. And I can't do the next one until that one comes out. I've never played Borderlands, nor have I seen the movie. That was a movie, wasn't it? They made that into a movie? Or is that a different one? There's so many games that I haven't played. I just get so... Like, if I get into a game, I get into a game. Like... You know, like... Today I spent, like, 2 hours dealing with villagers. It's basically all I'm doing in Minecraft for, like, now and until eternity, is because I've got a big villager set up in my new world and trying to set up all of the villagers for everything. I'm just sad that the people that own the IP behind Star Siege Tribes are just abusing the lovers of it. Create Tribes 3 and then just immediately abandon it. Hey, we're giving you free credit towards our next game that we're going to also abandon. Last time I cooked with chicken thighs. It's been a minute, Dances with Felines. I know I've done it in the last 2 months, 3 months? Somewhere in that ballpark, though. I did a roasted leg and thigh dish. Starseeds Tribes, in my opinion, was an amazing game. When it was at its original peak, it was only beaten out by Quake and one other game. I forget what it was, but it was another equally like, okay, big deal. Tribes 2 was equally amazing. And then they've done all of these, like, they've done like 3 or 4 half-hearted remakes that the last 2 were straight up like, we're just taking your money. Tribes Ascend, they made a major change to the game. They majorly improved the game. And then they decided they were going to move. I think they decided they were going to move on from the game and put in a new patch that absolutely ruined it. And the most recent one, like, they barely even released Tribes 3 before they gave up on it. They're so much better than white meat, aren't they? Like, yeah, you gotta deal with the little cartilage, and they're not typically cut as nicely and all that, but it's just a better piece of meat. I'm just waiting for the world to discover the oyster on chickens, though. Like, fine dining discovered the oysters long ago, and, like, occasionally you'll see, like, you know, chicken fried oysters or something like that, but they're just so pricey. You only get 2 oyster-sized pieces of meat on a chicken, and usually they hack them all up. I wish I had a chicken I could sit here and show you exactly where they are, but they're essentially on the back of the chicken, just inside of the ball joint for taking the thigh off. You sort of have to cut up and around them and scrape them off of the back. Yep, head of broccoli. I know someone that occasionally throws it as a special on his menu, and I think he only does it when he's done stock in the kitchen. Why aren't you still following me, Cameron? Why'd you stop following me? Start following me again. Tomatoes. I'm worried that tonight's pizzas are going to be too moist. I think they're going to be too wet. All of the tomato juices. What do you think, chat? Are they going to be a sloppy mess? It is the exact reason that I did cut them so thin. You got salmon in the freezer? You want to eat it just as salmon, or like you got to use a lot of it up? You know, there's always soup. You can smoke them. You can dry them. You can cure them. Bagels and lox. Can I was gonna say salmon ceviche, but salmon is not the greatest meat for ceviche. It's too fatty. Baked salmon is got to be one of the simplest, easiest weekday night dinners, though. I mean, 18-20 minutes, 400 degrees in the oven. Done. Well, like, it can't get much easier than that. Salmon cakes is a great idea. You can do salmon salad, too. Salmon salad sandwiches. Let's take a look at our first pie here. Take a look at our first pizza. Okay, I'll take it. I was not sure on this one. The center of this looks like it could use a little more time. However, we do have a nice solid bottom to it. It's not sagging a lot. So it tells me that the dough is probably cooked nicely on the bottom. We just got a little too much liquid going on here. Of course, that's going to sort itself out a little bit here too. Yeah, I was looking at those and I was like, I wish I had gotten more. I wish I had gotten a couple of of the greener heirlooms too, but that's what I saw and liked. I'm also sad that I didn't get to go to the farmer's market for these. This is typically better at the farmer's market, but I messed up my beginning of the month finances and am cash poor right now. Welcome, Ribbon. No, there's no mango. It is. These are different varieties of tomatoes. These are all tomato. Got tomato sauce, got fresh mozzarella, we got thin sliced heirloom tomatoes, I would normally say so too. Like, I am not normally a big, giant tomato fan. But I've been, like, I've made a couple of heirloom tomato galettes. Which, if you're unfamiliar with a galette, it's essentially a free-form pie. It's a pie without being in a pie, like, you just fold the edges over. And have absolutely loved those. And so I'm actually thinking that this is going to be pretty amazing, even though I probably never would go for this unless it was me making it. Get the last of that rind cheese off. Okay, we're sliding on the tray. We're warm back here. Second pizza going in the oven. That's our second pizza there. Yeah, we're on a little bit of a pizza binge. It's more that I had decided that it had been too long since I had had a Detroit-style pizza, and then I realized I was making pizza in the prime of tomato season, and realized that, well, I should probably do tomato pizza too. So, here we are. But I don't know if I completed my conversation earlier about, I think it's probably time that I reformat the streaming PC. Like, there's just something that's still wonky here with stuff. I would never call Domino's to begin with. Like, do they actually sell pizza? But ordering pizza and making pizza at home takes about the same amount of time if you aren't just sort of hanging out like I am. Like, if you're like, I want pizza, I want to get it done, I want it in the oven, it's pretty damn quick. And it's better because you can make sauces that actually taste good. You use cheese that's actually decent. And I'm saying that as someone who has talked before about hot and ready Little Caesars. I would take a hot and ready Little Caesars, the cheap Little Caesars, rather than their much better Detroit style pizza, over Domino's any day of the week. Head of broccoli. But is it a same day recipe? And 2, I highly doubt Tyler Florence developed that recipe. Is it a same day recipe? Like, my problem with pizza recipes is you really need to do them overnight. I've tried a couple and tried to do a couple like during stream, but the King Arthur one isn't horrible. Especially if you're using a cast iron pan. I think I've done that before, Splits. Pretty sure that I've done cheeseburger pizza on stream. I know I've done a couple of pickle pizzas on stream. Pickle pizzas are awesome. They're just too salty. Bacon and pickle pizza's pretty awesome stuff there. Bacon blue cheese and pickle olives are even more awesome. But I mean, that's like salt central. The more I'm thinking about his splits, I think I probably have. I think I did that, and I think I think it didn't turn out looking gorgeous because I topped it with iceberg and the other toppings on top of it after baking it. Welcome in, No Skill. We be making pizza tonight. I've got one on the stove right now already. We're waiting on the second one. That's going to be looking hopefully somewhat similar to that, but still bubbling when it comes out. What's everyone's choice of beverage with pizza? Is it really truly a beer? Or is that just American marketing? Like, do you crave a beer when you have a pizza? I don't. But then again, I'm not Mr. Beer fan. Pepsi, raspberry. Oh, that's... raspberry soda, huh? Justice Fries beating out Michael. Wow, nice. I honestly don't think beer pairs well with any food. Can't stand beer with any food. That's intriguing. I think the only thing that I'm cool with beer with is fish and chips. Like beer and fish and chips, good combo. But beer and cheese soup is not horrible, but I'm not like... Cheese soup is really the draw there. I sort of feel like it's sort of like the vegetable in that dish. It's sort of like the broccoli and cheese soup. We want the cheese soup and we're okay with the broccoli. I have a feeling that buns may feel differently about that, but what is cheese soup? It is what it sounds like. It's a soup with a bunch of cheese in it so that it's typically got that annatto yellow cheesy color to it. And some flavor of cheese, but I mean, that's basically the same thing as having a cream soup with a different color. Yeah, JK, and actually IPAs are what I'll most likely reach for. It's either... it depends on the situation. Like, I don't have Yingling available to me regularly out here on the West Coast. They're supposed to be coming out here, but I don't have it available to me now. If I had Yingling available to me on a regular basis, I might drink some more cheap beer. But either it's, like Sonoma County, we're home of Pliny the Elder and Pliny the Younger. We're sort of like the home of the modern IPA, or at least the double, triple, extreme IPAs. I stopped the music, didn't I? Or no, it's just too quiet in my ear again. Yeah, I'm just sad that Yingling is, like, Yingling was my college drinking beer, because, like, I went to college in New York, went to Culinary Institute in New York, and, like, yeah, it was the Budweiser of all the local bars in New York. Ah! Quit beeping at me. Let's take a look at the second pie. Now, I called it Budweiser, and Budweiser is cheaper, but I don't think of it as cheap. I think of cheap beer, and I think PBR, I think Golden Anniversary, I think of, what is it, Iron Brew? Something along that line. Let's take some photos. I'm also going to add a little salt to these, which I don't normally do for pizzas, but with the tomatoes, I think that's a good addition here. Additionally, what might have been a good plan I didn't do tonight, but might have helped this out, is if I had salted the tomatoes ahead of time and then pulled the liquid off of them. That way you wouldn't have released as much liquid into the actual pizza. I could add some freeze-dried basil. I don't have any fresh, and I'm not a lover of basil that much that I'm not going to do that. We could add a little dried oregano over the top, though. Especially with nice, JK. We got some nice coloring on our crusts here. Have I had a Buddy's Pizza before? I most certainly have had a Buddy's Pizza before. I think my pizza last night was pretty comparable, but Buddy's, the cheese is just different. I don't know if I like it more or less, though. You know, my version of jack cheese and mozzarella versus the proper Wisconsin brick. What'd you think? Yeah, it's sort of funny, broccoli. Like, they can be all over the place, and you can have, like, dedicated places. Like, part of the problem that I think with pizzerias is it's so dependent on the oven. And if you start a pizzeria with the wrong oven, like, that just by itself is gonna ruin your business. I get a proper, like, it's sort of funny. I do Detroit style at home, and I just do, like, a pepperoni style, Detroit style pizza most of the time. But I have Detroit style pizza out, and I want to, like, load it up with, like, put the kitchen sink on there. Like, so this was the first pizza. This is the second one. First, second. I think I got a better crust than the first one, actually. The second one looks nice and golden, though. But I got some more bubbling, some more darker areas to the other one. Sort of the downside of doing this at home, on your own pizza oven at home, there isn't like a live flame point that you can, like, one of the major things you can do with the stone or pizza oven and a proper peel is you can sit there and turn the pie so that the right side is towards the heat. There's typically a hot and a cold side. So you can control the bake a lot more than here at home. A little bit of a quicker night tonight. Gonna be back here tomorrow. You're gonna be doing mustardy pork sandwiches. Sorry to the non-mustard lovers. We do have the ingredient challenge coming up on Wednesday. Looking like that's gonna be marshmallow. I don't think pepperoni is gonna come back from that. But if you want to have a say, there's the vote in the Discord. And then we may take Friday off, we may not. Like I said, Wednesday, Thursday I'm gonna dedicate towards redoing the whole PC. Getting all of these, there's some driver conflict, there's something here. There's something that's just not working right. So we'll take a look at that and try and fix that. And hopefully I'll be back here for Friday for pasta fagioli, which is one of my favorite soups. And I have never made it on stream before. And so, yeah, I'm going to do that felines, but we're going to struggle through Monday and Wednesday before I do that. But I do think we're going to call it here, folks. look and see what's going on in the world of Twitch. Alright, we're going to leave it there. I hope to see all your lovely faces back here tomorrow. Have a great one, folks. Good night.